and I was tired all the time. I was coming home and being so physically exhausted that I would sit down and feel like I couldn't even move. Um, I was frustrated because even with some lifestyle changes, I was exercising, I was trying to eat healthy. I still couldn't lose the last bit of baby weight, which was quite a bit left. Like, it wasn't a little, it was a lot. And my baby was 5. So I was really curious mainly about the pink drink. That was all I really knew about at the time. And I did a 7-day trial, and I decided to just go for it because I didn't know what else to do. At the time, I had also been on and off for several years with some autoimmune issues, but nobody knew exactly what was causing them. Um, and so I started on the triplex, with the microbiome activating slim, probio 5 and biocleanse. And really right away, my husband said, I might as well try it too. He has had probably overall more health issues than I have, in terms of general, like ordinary things like blood pressure and cholesterol and stuff like that. And so we both really committed to being consistent, and give it a chance to see what it could do for us. So in the first few months of using really just the triplex in the beginning, um, and I dabbled a little bit with some of the other things, um, I noticed I lost a small amount of weight. It was not like life-changing amounts of weight, but I lost a small amount of weight. But I noticed right away that I was sleeping better, which is kind of big for me because I have bad sleep habits. I'm not a bad sleeper, but I have bad sleep habits. I don't like to go to bed because that's my quiet time. So I will intentionally stay up late because that's when the kids are not up and I can enjoy my quiet time. And I frequently fall asleep in my chair, and then I get up and go to bed, and then I'm restless all night, and then I don't sleep well. And I noticed better sleep right away, even if it meant that when I fell asleep in my chair, I slept there the whole night. And so consequently, I started having better energy right away because I was sleeping more soundly and not waking up so many times. Um, Very early on, I noticed I had a lot better portion control when I was eating. Even though I was eating healthier, I was not really paying a lot of attention to portion size, but I was noticing that I was filling up faster and not needing to clean my plate just because I filled it with something. Um, Fewer cravings. I almost never snack between meals now. It's very rare that you'll find me with something in my hand between meals, because I'm just not hungry. So, with time and adding some more products in, like X Factor Plus, I use Slim HC, the hunger control Slim, most of the time now, but I still occasionally use some microbiome activating if I have to. Um, I have added Accelerator. I use Black pretty regularly. I love the lean shakes. The lean shakes are now my go-to breakfast and sometimes lunch almost every day. Um, and I have tried the new Active several times now. I love it all the different ways by itself. I put it in my vanilla shake. Um, it's really going to be a fantastic product, even just from the little bit that I've used. So since then, with all of that, with time and adding some of those other products in, I have noticed all of those positive changes that I noticed early on continue. And today is a great example. My son had soccer camp this morning, which overlapped with my daughter's volleyball camp. So this morning was nothing but driving back and forth to 2 different places and dropping off and picking up and going to the store in between, and then coming home for a little while and then turning around, and the girls had dance tonight. And then I had to drive 3 other girls home after dance. And honestly, I would have been dead on my feet before. And I'm really not. Like, I'm just, the energy has, all of those things have just continued. But I finally, just about a month ago, reached my initial goal for my weight loss that I had set when I started, which is a total of 30 pounds, since the beginning. And I know I'm not done. Like, that was my goal, and I was happy to get there. But I know that that's still something that's going to be continuing to change for me. Um, I have had, since I've started, no reoccurrence of any kind of my autoimmune symptoms at all. I've not had to go back to my rheumatologist for any reason to inquire about anything. Um, and as someone who never had answers. They never could explain why those things were happening. It was frustrating to have to keep going back because nobody, with 3 rheumatologists, nobody ever had any answers for me. And so I don't have to go back anymore, and it's kind of great. But the real, I think, when for people who want to see the proof is in the pudding. I think the lab work really says it all. Personally, I did not struggle with things like blood sugar and cholesterol the way my husband did. But even being in the healthy range in both of those areas, my blood sugar and my cholesterol has improved every single labs that I've had since I've started. So even somebody with healthy levels can continue to get healthier. The last time I went, my bad cholesterol was really improved, and my good cholesterol went way up. And it shocked me that after all that time, I was still seeing improvements. But the best is my husband just went recently for his, and his blood sugar, which was borderline pre-diabetic at one point, his doctor talked to him about next time, if it didn't get better, he might have to put him on medication. He's not completely in the normal range yet, but his blood sugar has come way down, and they're not even talking about it anymore. And his cholesterol, he still takes some cholesterol meds, but he's taken him off some of the ancillary things that he was on before, like some of the niacin and the things they were also watching some things with his liver that are associated with high cholesterol, and he's not worried about any of that anymore. So I think they're talking about lowering his cholesterol medication next time. But I know in my heart that this is adding years back onto my husband's life, because he was in a lot more trouble in those areas than I was before, and it's all correcting itself now. And so for that, I am eternally grateful. And that's it. That's our story.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know about the husband story. I mean, have you been holding out on that one? Because I didn't even know. Oh, you're muted.
Yep.
Huh?
No, I kind of always wait. I'll share a little bit after he gets his most recent labs back, but then it kind of, in between labs, I don't really think about it a lot. And then he gets another set of labs back, and they're even better. And I'm just waiting. I cannot wait until his blood sugar is back in the normal range, and he doesn't even have to worry. And I think that one of our new products may just help him with that. So we do happen to have, our house is fully stocked in block right now for months to come, but we will be slowly making the change, I think, and using our block for those rare occasions when we need it,
I have a question. I have a question for you. So did he ever take block?
He does.
Just on cheat meals kind of a thing?
Well, he takes it pretty much every day before dinner, because that's usually, he's been taking it the way they're suggesting to take balance, before your largest meal of the day. Mm-hmm. So we'll probably continue to use block with other meals, and then switch to using balance before that biggest meal of the day.
That is awesome. I am so excited because, husbands are my heart. That's part of my story too. I'm not going to get into that a whole bunch, but my husband's diabetic, takes insulin. So diabetes is near and dear to my heart. So when I hear someone that's pre-diabetic and they're like, this stuff is helping me, maybe it's not curing me, it's not, 100% yet, but little by little it's improving. I am so excited to hear that, Bridget. And balance, it is sort of, in a way, it is a reformulation of block, but I believe it's better than block. And I know that my husband took block just at cheat meals like Christmas, Thanksgiving, if he knew he was going to indulge. And instead of his sugar jumping up to 350, it would just stay at a normal range. It might be a tiny bit higher, but it would be not crazy. So I just have to believe that they have made block into balance because of the name balance. It's all about blood sugar balance. I think it's going to be amazing for our hubbies and anybody that struggles with blood sugar. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing, Bridget. I love your story too, but I just got so excited hearing about your husband. Let's see. We have Carol is up next.
Muted.
You're on.
Okay. So I don't know. The sun is kind of messing with me here. Sorry. Sun in Washington. Yeah. Okay. Little bits. We get little. Anyway, so I guess the biggest, I've got several big ones I was struggling with for years was sinus, which Lori is the one that brought that out to me. I didn't even catch it. And so I'm going to bring it so I don't forget it. And that was at Christmas time. She's like, oh my goodness, when's the last time you had a sinus headache, sinus infection, bronchitis, all that sinus, drainage stuff. And okay, girls, the other end too. I didn't have any more yeast infections, bladder, kidney, urinary tract, and that's backwards. Usually it starts with one and keeps going. So sorry, here comes my grand dog. Oh my gosh, I asked them not to do this. Sorry. So anyway, other than that, and then of course the weight is something that you can see. The weight you can see. Sorry if I messed up. Okay. The weight you could see. So I've lost 60. Haven't changed on the scales. I feel like, I've been able to move in sizes, and I feel great. And sleeping, like Bridget said, sleeping is huge. And I would abuse myself because the only time I could get my computer work and paperwork done for the daycare and planning for class, time and stuff, or the grocery store. So a lot of times I would stay up for a day or two, just 24 hours straight, kind of like a nurse schedule, 36 hours. Oh yeah, I've been awake. Or if I fall asleep in the chair, you know what, you guys, you don't get good sleep that way. Your body is just not what it needs to be. And so I had tried to correct that the last few years because I was more conscious, of me getting older and needing energy, and I need to slow down, take better care of myself. And I think Lori preached at me for probably 2 years because I was having I had migraines too, you guys. Oh my gosh. I hate to just keep adding to the list, but it was that and brain fog and hormone, adrenal fatigue. I was diagnosed with that. I was gestational diabetic with Rachel, one of my daughters. So I was pre-diabetic. I got off of blood pressure medicine on the second month of the full triplex. Then I started taking the multivitamin because I knew I've also been iron deficient all of my life. I mean, I've done the iron infusions, things that, I just kind of went, oh, that's what you need to do. Go to a naturopath, go get some health and nutrition information, try this, try that. And also whenever Plexus found me, my skin, my hair, IBS symptoms that were not diagnosed because I didn't have insurance, so I didn't go get that diagnosed. So that was a biggie too, sleep and that, because it affects you getting around, leaving the house, going to the store could be an issue, or any kind of stress. People would be waiting on me because I'm in the bathroom, or because I couldn't leave because I was fearful that I was going to have a problem. I don't know if I've ever shared that, but there's really a lot of personal things that you just put up with. So it's been a huge change for me. And I've tried other things, but I have literally not had the overall changes and the continual changes in my body. Sugar cravings, big, was cut. Like I couldn't believe that
That's so
the
awesome.
cravings for sugar, and sugar is not good for us, you guys.
Yeah.
So is there anything else I haven't mentioned, Rebecca?
You did great.
Oh, Mom, did I forget? But I love Plexus. I love the community and the company. Thank you for letting me share.
Oh, girl, we're so happy to hear you.
And hi again. I'm so glad. Thank you. I had a couple people say they couldn't get on, but I had 2 more people. And Allie's the best. She just rocked it and came right in here with the time change.
That's so sweet.
But 10 years.
We recorded it. We're recording it, Carol. So, you'll be able to share this with your friends. And you did amazing. I mean, your story is just incredible. But I would encourage anyone that's just, getting started or thinking about getting started. You're just getting started, for sure, keep a notebook and write down all the different changes you see. Because just like Carol, like as you're talking and thinking, you're like, oh yeah, I used to have migraines. Oh yeah, I remember when I used to have to run to the bathroom. Like huge things that when you get gut in balance and you're balancing blood sugar and all the things, it really can make such a big difference. And Carol, I think it cut out when you said how much weight you lost. How many pounds?
Oh, sure. 67 to 68.
67. Yes.
Still not hit that 70 mark, but I will.
Oh my gosh.
And,
she looks amazing, you guys. I think it's okay to be 67 pounds.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind.
All right, you guys. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll take it. It's enough. And
Yep. Okay. So next, we're going to have Lori share with us her story. And don't feel rushed. I know we're a little bit over time what we had planned to do, but just tell us your story, girl.
All right. Well, as I mentioned before, I started Plexus in February of 2015. So Rebecca had joined in January, and she began posting really quickly, and I was just being supportive. First I'll mention she is my husband's cousin. So I had only met her in person, I think, once or twice at that point. And so we became friends on Facebook to keep in touch with just our kids and stuff, because our youngest are about the same age. So that kind of tells you how we knew each other. Not well, but she started posting, and I'm always the cheerleader. So I was just like, I liked her posts because I was just like, oh, good for you, you know? But really, in all honesty, my health was struggling. My blood pressure was out of control, and that was on blood pressure medicine. My readings were still super high. I had horrible stomach issues. I would feel like it would be like somebody was stabbing me in the stomach and twisting. It was just really horrible. All the symptoms presented as a gallbladder issue, although all the testing was normal. So I had ultrasounds, and this was like a 20-year problem. And I only say that because my oldest is 23, and I pretty much have had it since she was born. So I had dealt with that, and I'm 47, so I had dealt with that for about over half my life. And so it would just be on and off, where it would really hurt, and it was getting to the point where I was going to the emergency room. I was going to a specialist, and the specialist was like, it presents as gallbladder, so let's just remove your gallbladder. And about that time is when I started seeing testimonies that Rebecca had been posting. In addition to my blood pressure and the stomach issue, I was dealing with horrible anxiety that was from a car accident I had been in. And I didn't like to drive. I didn't like to go to the grocery store. I still don't like to go to the grocery store, but I don't have the, anxiety about going to the grocery store anymore. It's just, I don't like the grocery store. So, so I just saw a few of the testimonies, one of them being a friend of ours, Chris McCall. His blood pressure testimony is one that I had seen. And another one, I don't remember whose the person was, but they talked about anxiety. And so I was just desperate for a solution. And I had this surgeon that wanted to do gallbladder surgery, and I had just put off scheduling that. And I had seen him in like January. And so I just decided, I had been in the health and wellness industry doing corporate wellness programming for 10 years prior to my job that I have now. And so I knew a little bit about, normal ranges, and the science behind the products when Rebecca showed it to me just made sense. And I was at that point of desperation where I just wanted something to work, because I had done dieting, I had done Weight Watchers, I'd done, exercise programs, and just nothing helped. And that was because I was dealing with a lot of stress as well. So I just jumped in. I never even tried a sample, nothing. I just jumped in and said, I'll give this a try. I'm going to join because that's the cheapest way to get it. And that annual fee will be paid for if I do the products for 2 months. So I was just like, let's give it a try. And I told her at that time I wasn't going to share. But about 2 weeks in, my family noticed that I wasn't as cranky. I wasn't as grouchy with the kids. I noticed craving changes that first week. I was just craving more protein. I didn't want as much junk food. I was a soda addict. I drank my Diet Coke religiously and probably a pot and a half of coffee daily. That's all I drank was Diet Coke and coffee. I cut my coffee intake and I quit drinking Diet Coke after 2 days. And I just didn't want it anymore. So those were a couple of immediate changes that I noticed. About 3 weeks in, I was like, I was monitoring my blood pressure from my doctor, and I was getting normal readings. Now, I was still on my medication, but after 3 weeks, I was getting normal blood pressure readings. And so that was a huge victory for me. My doctor was super cautious with taking me off my blood pressure medication, and I was the compliant patient because my blood pressure was, it was high. So just having it be normal on the medication was huge for me. So he was very cautious, and then we did taper it off and got off the blood pressure medication. So that was a victory. After a while, I noticed I was like, I don't have the stomach issues anymore. So it wasn't really, my gallbladder was functioning. The tests were correct. I just have a gut health issue. So, so really, just starting on the triplex combo, adding in that X Factor. I think 4 months after I started adding in some other products too, but just a complete blessing. I've lost 30 pounds total, and what's really remarkable is I was wearing like size 12 and 14s, and now I'm buying size 6 jeans, sometimes size 8. It just depends on the brand, of course. Stores, they're all different. But I've lost so many more inches than pounds. I don't even care what the scale says. I try not to get on the scale at all anymore. I go by how I feel. And I know when I need to, rein it in, or, I do like to do yoga. That's my jam. I love my yoga classes that I've been doing. So I know Bridget's really into running now, that she feels good, but that's something that I'm just more passionate about, more cognizant about. The inches lost, that's the real victory. I always tell people, don't pay attention to the scale, because the scale doesn't always tell the whole story. So that's my health testimony.
Thank you.
And I love the products.
Thank you so much. I just love Lori's story, and I love how nutty is it that she was on blood pressure medication, but it was still high. Like, the medication was not really working, right? And medication is masking what is going on really in the body. Like, we always like to say prevention over prescription, because when you can get to the root cause with her gut health, to get to the root cause, not just put a Band-Aid over a bullet hole, then that's when the real, just magic happens. And we're not claiming to cure. I didn't throw out that little disclaimer when we started, but we don't claim to cure or treat diseases or illnesses. But it is incredible to hear people and their stories of how it so dramatically can, with time and with consistency, improve your symptoms of what you're struggling with. So it's not a quick fix. It's not like in 2 weeks. Her blood pressure was better in 3 weeks, but her doctor she worked with her doctor to gradually reduce medication to where she's off it now. And, that is the cool thing that we see over and over again about these products, that they work for the masses, that it really truly is supplements with a story. And so if you're watching this and you're considering it, we encourage you to get with the person who invited you to watch this video, if you're watching it with us live or you're watching it later. And we can't wait to see your story change. So I am going to go into our new products that have just launched recently, briefly kind of go over those. The first one is Active, comes in this little pouch. It has, I believe, 14, right? 14 of these little sticks in each little pouch. So if you want to do it for basically a month or 28 days, then you'll need 2 of these pouches, okay? And if you're not familiar, like we have our pink drink that we're very well known for. We have one that is hunger control for people that want to have their appetite control, looking to lose weight. And then we have our Slim Microbiome Activating Slim. It's our other pink drink. We have 2 pink drinks, and this one is actually yellow, is the color of this one. But our 2 pink drinks work to help balance blood sugar, help with inflammation, help with balancing those lipid levels, blood pressure, natural sustainable energy as well. Because a lot of times the reason we're tired is our blood sugar is doing a little roller coaster up and down. So our pink drink is just known for all of those wonderful things. And our microbiome activating one is because it works on the microbiome, on your gut health. And it actually helps with a prebiotic to help increase the good stuff in your gut. So those are our pink drinks, but this is our new Active drink. And what the purpose of this one is that it helps with energy. It's basically a good for you energy drink, which I know a lot of us have been like, energy drinks are bad. You know, like our teenagers may be drinking some energy drinks, or our husbands, and we're like, that is a big no-no. You don't do that. They're full of crap, right? They're full of synthetic caffeine. They're full of artificial flavors and colorings and sugar and just bad for you ingredients. Well, Plexus saw a need. Plexus is great about this. We have skincare too, because they saw a need to have clean skincare. But now we are in the energy drink industry, and it's a clean, good for you ingredients, all clean, healthy ingredient energy drink. And it doesn't have a bunch of caffeine. It doesn't even have coffee in it. It has green tea extract, and it has yerba mate. I say that wrong. Yerba mate. Okay. And all those things give you natural, sustainable energy without the synthetic, without the jitters, without the crash that comes later on those other bad for you energy drinks. Okay. The other amazing ingredient in our Active is turmeric. And some people are familiar with turmeric, some aren't, but turmeric is a natural supplement that helps dramatically with aches and pains. People use that instead of ibuprofen. Turmeric is a wonderful supplement. So this is an anti-inflammatory, helps boost your energy, helps boost your mental focus, and just makes you feel great. It's actually been scientifically proven to increase your nitric oxide. You can Google all this if you want to. I mean, like if you're a science girl, you're eating up this stuff, right? And I'm not really a science girl, so I'm doing good to know all this stuff for you guys. But nitric oxide is increasing the blood flow for your body. So the blood flow to your brain, to your heart, to all your organs. And so it has so many wonderful, wonderful benefits. And this is why people are feeling really good on this stuff. They're feeling clean, fresh energy without that crash. They're feeling focused. I mean, a lot of us are like, hey, my mood is even better. I'm getting stuff done around the house. This is a great thing for our guys out there that are doing manual labor. Our kids, you're not always to say
Right.
kids for 18 or older, but I mean, let's face it, our kids are drinking junk, right? Soda, Gatorade, energy drinks. This is an amazing alternative. So we just love it. And it's 25 calories. It does have 3 grams of sugar, but the kind of sugar is really important. It's monk fruit and, what kind of powder? I wrote it down. Some kind of powder. I don't remember. But it's natural. It's not the bad for you kind. Just 3 grams of sugar, which is nothing compared to those other drinks. And again, it's all natural. It's got biodegradable vitamins, A, B, C, and E. And, I can't forget this. It's super important. So it's a peach mango flavor, which is super delicious. I don't even like peach stuff, but I love this drink all by itself. It's like heaven. I mean, I've heard you can put it with sparkling water. I haven't tried that yet. You can put it with plain iced tea. It's heaven with your tea. Not that I recommend drinking tea all day because that will dehydrate you, but an occasional iced tea with this thing is pretty fun. What was I going to say? Now I can't remember. Oh, I know. It's magic with Slim. You can mix this with your pink drink. So pour your bottle, get your bottle of your pink drink, put your pink drink in there, whichever one you like, and then add your active to it.
Yep.
And it's so fun. Oh, she's got your active right there.
I've just got my active, but I love it with both pinks.
Yeah, it's so pretty, isn't it? Show that again. It's like a beautiful yellow. But yeah, you mix it with the pink drink, and guess what? It's orange. And the XOS makes it a little brighter orange. The HC makes it a little lighter orange. But it's delicious. And what's great about that, like people are just seeing great results, even a little bit more improvement in the weight loss area, and just feeling great. So highly encourage you to get both. You know, do your pink drink and your active. You can drink the active by itself, or you can mix it together. I think you're gonna love it. Does anyone have questions about it at all? Just take yourself off mute. Hi, Susan. Susan joined in. Yay. Tell us where you're from, Susan. You missed out on all the introductions. We'll let everybody hear from you too. Oh, you're on mute. Let me see if I can. There you are. Maybe. No. We can't hear you. Oh, well, I'm sorry, friend. Okay, so no questions about active? Did I cover it all? That's pretty crazy. All right, I'm going to talk real quick about balance. This is the one we kind of touched on at the beginning with Bridget's husband's story, and I shared my husband's story too. How this is really great for people that struggle with blood sugar, or even if you don't. We all know that hangry feeling if we haven't eaten and we're kind of shaky, or you know, the crash later sometimes. So this balance is great. This is something that you're going to take on a regular basis, not just a cheat meal, but on a regular basis. If you're looking to lose weight, to manage blood sugar swings, this is a great thing to take each day with your heaviest meal. You take it with your one heaviest meal of the day or two heaviest meals. It basically is a reformulation of Block, which was a product we had before. And Block was great, but they've just made it better. So they're calling it Balance. I know they're going to be phasing out Block, I believe. So, you know, just trust our company. We're always on the cutting edge of making things even more improved. So they've added some ingredients to this one. And you're wondering what ingredients. Did I write down ingredients for this? I thought I did. Well, it's got the kidney bean extract still. It's got mulberry, which is known to help with blood sugar. And it's got cinnamon in it too, which is aiding in weight loss. So this one is great for weight management, weight loss, balancing those blood sugar spikes. What it's doing is it's helping you actually blocking 48% of carbs and sugar from breaking down into sugar, into glucose that is stored as fat. So it's cutting your calorie intake and making it so much easier to lose weight. You know, like we all have, like maybe we're trying to eat really clean and healthy, but there's going to be processed sugar. There's going to be things out there that are not ideal, hidden sugars. And so this is slowing down that digestion of the carbs and the sugar. And that's it. That's what it's called, is Balance. It's pretty cool. I think it's really going to be an amazing thing to pair up with your Slim and your Active together. All right, anyone have questions? No? All right, well, thank you all. I'm going to end our recording now, but thank you so much for joining us. And we have Health and Happiness Half Hour again here in, I don't have the exact date in front of me, but I think it's week after next. So know that we have this here, that you can invite your friends, and You guys can still hear me, right? Or am I frozen?
Got a connection issue.
I'm
Or not.
And the sun was blocking my screen. So
Was I frozen? I think I was, wasn't I?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you went.
I'm sorry. I don't know
Oh.
why in my room, like the internet is sketchy, so I have to plug in my laptop to this little cord, and it got bumped, I guess, when I moved my little balance thing. So sorry, I don't know where I left off. But thank you guys. Where did I leave off? Did I leave off in the middle of something? Do I need to finish anything up, or am I good?
I think you're good. Carol had asked about the dosage, and I mentioned that it was 2 capsules, 20 to 30 minutes prior to your largest meal of the day.
Okay.
Is that accurate?
I think so. I did not look at that yet. I took it today for the first time, and I just took one. I haven't had dinner yet, so I was going to take one. I thought I would just try one and see how I do. But I don't know if it says 2. I would read it, but I would need reader glasses on to see on here. So I'm not sure. If you start with 2.
thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
I'm online and it does say 2 capsules 20 to 30 minutes before or with your largest meal
So
each day.
pretty much the same thing as the block
Mm-hmm.
was.
Yeah.
I just couldn't
Yeah, no,
remember.
great question.
Plus I thought, it's good just to ask the question.
Yeah.
Thank
Anyone
you,
else have a
everyone.
question? All right. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Oh, you're